All right, what's up, guys? We are getting a bid package finalization ready to go out. So I just got what should be a final bid set from the architect. So I need to go through that. This is the third iteration of plans I'm going through at this point. And then I'm going to compare that with my scope of work, make sure anything that's not in the plans is in the scope of work, put that whole package together in PDF form, and get it out to my contractor. The big thing here, a project like this is going to take a contractor a solid month to put together a real number. I got ballparks from a couple of guys that I was working with. I sent them my design plans early on, and that was fine. I know in and about where I am. This takes into account all the mechanicals, all the riser diagrams, all the demolition work, everything that needs to be done, all the underpinning, which is the biggest part of the job here. The underpinning is in the basement. That's going to allow me to dig that basement out and get actual, good ceiling height in there. So again, we're going to run through the document set and make sure everything is ready to go out. Hey Jensen, it's Anthony. Good, man, how you doing? You got a minute? Cool. So I'm just looking at the plans to go out to bid. So some of the notes that I had given you on the last revision, I don't see incorporated. And I just thought maybe we should just go over everything, on the phone, so we don't, because I don't want to have to, add additional notes that should be reflected in the plans and then start confusing contractors. Hey, sorry, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so page 2. Note number 11, it was just the original window casing, so you can remove door out of that note. There actually aren't any doors that are going to be remaining at all.
Got it.
And I appreciate you just running through that a second time. All right, great. So we're shooting for tomorrow to have a full package, and I'm out to my 2 guys. And by the way, if you have anybody you like working with, I wouldn't mind just a third hat in the ring in terms of a general contractor. Even if it's more than one, if you
Understood. I mean, the one thing I can tell you, is that a lot of the guys that I prefer tend to be on the pricier side, but they're just more put together.
Listen, I've been in the business long enough. That's the way I tend to roll these days myself. I'm not looking for a price break. I'm looking for the right job.
Okay, then definitely. I've got a couple of guys that I would recommend and highly recommend, given their track record.
Amazing. I appreciate it, Jensen. Thanks so much. All right, buddy. Okay, so having a call like that is the quickest way to get through discrepancies. So I started looking at these plans, noticed that too many things were off. Pick up the phone. That's how you get these things done. You've got to be proactive and be on it. So I'm going to now finish going through these plans with a fine-tooth comb, knowing that I'm going to have more markups. He's got a client that he's dealing with right now, so my goal is to get him something by end of the afternoon, so that way he can turn these 15 minutes worth of changes around in CAD and have it back to me by tomorrow morning. And then I'll have my full document package that's ready to go out. As I've mentioned a million times in our podcast prior, Architect is a great resource for a contractor. They deal with a ton of different contractors, having a lot of different homeowner clients. I've got one of the contractors that I did a recent restaurant renovation with, and I've got a set of contractors that has done a lot of work for JC. Those two firms I'm very confident in, but I want a third, if not a fourth and a fifth, because I really want to see where these numbers should be. It's an intricate job. Underpinning is not something that everybody's going to be able to do. I want to make sure there's a big enough crew that can handle multiple things at the same time. I don't want guys framing upstairs and nothing's happening in the basement. So this is the reason to reach out to a number of different crews, get recommendations from people, even if you have a contractor that you're comfortable working with. And by the way, I'm not using any fancy software here. These are PDF files that are just opened up in the Mac preview app, and then you hit the markup tool, and I just use shapes, the pen tool to circle things or draw, and then the text tool to put the notes on the screen. Literally no magic software for this stuff. If I was on the road and traveling and I had my iPad with me, I could do it in preview. It's a little more cumbersome. I actually like using the Notability app with my Apple Pencil. It's just faster and cleaner. So that's the way I'd go about it if I was traveling with my iPad. I have Notability on my Mac. It just doesn't, it's not as fast. Like the Apple Pencil is really what makes Notability great. So I tend to just, review documents in Notability on my Mac, or like add something from my email or whatever, and then get into it on my iPad later. Which is probably way too much information for you at this point. Okay, now we can talk. So, where do we leave off? We needed plans back from the architect. I have them. Everything's been updated. So now I'm just cruising through my scope of work with the plans open, making sure that any detail that's not on the plans that I want to be taken into consideration for quoting purposes is on the scope of work. That way, when the contractor has both documents in front of him, he can compare the two and go over everything, give me a full bid. As soon as I'm done with that, I'm sending them out to the two guys, the two firms that I have, plus the few that Jensen sent me, and then it's a waiting game.